Yo, cold as life here, guys. This is round 2 of my attempting free-for-all. Not going to talk too much about the game. I'm going to give you guys a little disclaimer. Look at this guy get stuck. If you are not old enough to be hearing about male anatomy, or you're homophobic and you are of age and you don't want to hear about male anatomy, then you just click off this video right now. Alright, we're going to dive into this. So this is Tour Stories. Hold on. This is Tour Stories with Cold as Life. Anyway, this one takes place in Lynchburg, Virginia. So, we played our show and we've been hanging out. Oh, another Get Stuck. We're playing with these guys in Lynchburg, West Virginia. They threw a show for us and booked us there. And that was where one of our tour stops was. So, to jump into this story, later on that night we're all partying. And, just drinking, having a good time and whatnot. And what have you. And, anyway, these guys are pretty outgoing. And, these American guys are pretty outgoing. And, they start talking about these tricks that they can do with male anatomy. With their members, I guess we can call it. So, we're all like, yeah, sure, whatever, right? And, this one guy's like, I bet you that I have the biggest set of balls that you'll ever see, right? And then we're like, yeah, whatever, right? And this guy comes out and he pulls out these two, like, they weren't balls at this point, guys. They were like 2 grapefruits, maybe 2 watermelons, if the watermelon wasn't elongated and it was a perfect circle. So that was pretty damn impressive, and we're laughing and drunk, you know. This wasn't a gay thing; it was just funny. But anyway, we're all pretty outgoing when you're in the band scene on tour. So this goes a little further, guys. So anyway, the other guy's like, "Oh yeah, well," he's like, "I could smoke with my dick, right?" So we're like, "Yeah, right, all right." Now I've heard it all. He's like, whatever, you know. He's like, give me a minute and I'll prepare, right? And we're like, okay. We're all laughing and in the living room and stuff. He comes out of the room and he's ass naked and he's just leaning in the door frame. And guys, I've seen a lot of pornos and things like that, and this was the largest member that I've ever seen in my whole life. So I don't know if this guy had a disease or if this was real life. But anyway, it was ridiculous. And he's got a smoke hanging out of the hole, the urethra. I don't know how you want to word that. I guess there's no safe way of making this calm. So anyway, he's got a cigarette hanging out of it, smoking. And we're dying laughing, right? So anyway, our Canadian band member, he's like, oh yeah, I got a trick too. Yeah. And we're like, okay. We're going to leave names out of this for obvious reasons. And we're like, okay. We're kind of nervous. Like, what do you mean you got a trick? He says that he can put pen-sized objects into his urethra. Like a straw, a pen, anything that width, which is pretty thick to be trying to put in that region. So he's like, oh, yeah, I'll show you guys. Check this out. And he pulls out the smallest thing we have ever seen in our life. And right away we're like, oh, no. We're like, Canada's not like that. This isn't how we're getting Canada represented, are we, We're freaking out like, oh, God. Like, why didn't one of us pull out ours? And this was ridiculous. So he does this trick. Sticking whatever pen in there. But that wasn't the funny part. We weren't laughing at the trick. We were laughing at the smallest male anatomy piece we've ever seen in our lives. And it was just the head and there was nothing else. And it was so embarrassing. So we called him Cap the rest of the tour because it was just the cap of the dick. It wasn't even the shaft or anything. It was ridiculous. I know the story is too far out there for some of you guys, but some of you find it absolutely hilarious. So Canada got repped pretty bad with the smallest thing ever, and it was pretty embarrassing for our country. I can assure you, a lot of us have decent sized members, just not that guy. But anyway, guys, I thought you'd find that funny. I hope you find it funny and not just weird or gay, but if you guys have an open mind, I think it's pretty funny. So that took place in Lynchburg, Virginia. So if anyone's from there, you guys got a guy that's hung like a horse and a guy that has balls like grapefruits, and you had a Canadian there that had the smallest member in the planet. So feel strong today, Americans. Feel strong, because you guys had that strong dick. I thought it was funny. Anyway, guys, I'm trying to do a Q&A. You guys never give me questions and comments when I ask for them. I need questions for a Q&A, guys. I'm calling Team Chill to do that for me, and I will do a Q&A video for fun. I'm going to be posting an NBA 2K13 that I just bought, so stick around. Chill!